Welcome to this new tutorial for MSXVR computers. This time, we are going to talk about binary numbers and how to use them with VR script. What is a binary number? Well, it is a sequence of ones and zeros, which represent something. This something in computers is basically going to be numbers. In the case of this tutorial, we are going to see their use as integers that we can represent both in binary and their subsequent conversion to decimal. Here we can see the different ranges that we can have in each case. Keep in mind that this number can be interpreted with or without a sign. The sign actually occupies 1 bit, so the range would be reduced by half. How do we represent integers in binary? Well, it's actually a dance of bits. In the case of the MSXVR, it's from right to left, because the CPU works with the LSB, least significant bit, in that position. Keep in mind that there are other CPUs that have it right on the other side. The point is to change the values 0 and 1 in each bit, from right to left. In each step our integer grows. After this brief introduction, let's get to the point that brings us to this tutorial. The main interest of binaries is their bits. These bits allow us to have grouped marks. When the bit is equal to 0, it means that something is deactivated, and when it is equal to 1, it means that it is activated. The interesting thing here is that we can apply operators with one or more of these bits at a time. How? These are the operators that we will find in script to operate with bits. OR operator allows you to activate bits. AND operator. It is often used to disable or apply bit masks. NOT operator allows you to invert the bits. XOR operator allows you to know changes in the value of the bits. Bitwise left shift operator. Bitwise right shift operator. Let's see a practical use of these operators. We create an 8-bit number and initialize it with the value 0. Now we will activate bit 0 of this number. We will do this using the OR operator. Our decimal number will now be equal to 1 point. We will activate bit 1 and our decimal number will be 3. Now we will activate bit 7 and our decimal number will be 131. And how do we disable them? The bits, of course. Using the AND and NOT operator as follows. We deactivate bit 7 and our decimal number will be 3. At this point, let's see a summary of the first 11 left shifts and their conversion to decimal. Note that we can shift as many bits as we have in the data type. If our data type has 8 bits and we shift 11 to the left, we will lose that bit and our data will be 0. Let's proceed to see some curiosities of the bits. If bit 0 equals 1, we can say that the integer is odd, and if it equals 0, then it is even. If we shift an integer 1 bit to the left, we multiply it by 2, whereas if we shift it 1 bit to the right, we divide it by 2. Let's continue with more usage examples, for example, in a game. Let's imagine we have some constants with different types: enemy, player, shot. We could indicate in a property that something is an enemy, but also that it is an enemy shot. And we could detect if the type belongs to an enemy, or detect if it belongs to an enemy shot. We could even consider that an enemy shot stops being a shot and becomes a simple enemy. Well, as an introduction to these binary operators, and to be able to understand their use in the next tutorials that we will be releasing, I think that may be enough, and therefore, we will leave it here. If there are doubts or questions, use the comments on the channel. See you in the next tutorial.